Alright, so we picked up another tractor. So this one was 200 bucks, about an hour away, and it came with all these attachments. I guess, 3 of the 4 tires are holding air. This one here has a little rust hole in the rim, so I'll have to pull that tire off and probably just weld that rim back together, and then that'll hold air at that point. They are water-filled, both back tires, so that's probably why it rusted through. It has a very wimpy looking 3-point hitch. I haven't seen one before where the handles or the arms are this thin. Normally they're like twice the thickness of that. So somebody cut the end off of this and welded on this pipe to get a little bit more leverage on there, I'd assume. And this is kind of bent, kind of goofy, so I'm going to have to do some repairing to that. But that shouldn't be too bad. It is a 73, so it's got the 2-spoke steering wheel and metal gas tank under the seat. This has a black Onan, which I didn't really even look at. I just kind of went there and just loaded it up and I was on my way. So this is a 78. So maybe it's out of a GT18 or something, because those aren't the normal mufflers on these SS16s. Those are typically found on like GT18s. Like these SS16s, they normally have that one solid muffler. They don't have these 2 small ones. Nose cone's in fairly decent shape. See what this actually looks like. You know, somebody repaired it with a piece of metal. I might just leave it like that. Normally I cut the bottom, you know, there and fix it with wood. But I think this is in pretty good shape. I can just leave that. I'll probably tape off the front here and repaint that. Maybe repaint the white on the hood. Seems to steer fairly decent. The choke cable is stuck. Throttle cable moves. Let's actually look at the engine a little bit more. The guy said that he parked it 5 years ago because he got like much bigger tractor and he didn't need this one anymore. And well, let's kind of look at the oil here, see if it's full of water. Nope, that's black, so that's, I guess, better than it being full of water. Battery's a 2012, so that's pretty old actually for a lawnmower battery, considering those only last like 5 or 6 years. But we'll look at the attachments and then we'll see about getting this running. So we've got this thing, which I haven't seen before. I'm not even sure what you would even call that. It's kind of like a drag. It has this adjustment right here where you can like adjust the height. I don't know if it's meant to be maybe a part of something else, but it has this little chain on it. So I don't know what that's about. Then we've got a cultivator that somebody modified to make into a rear blade, which is kind of neat. I'm probably going to pull this blade off at some point. And then put 2 of the, I don't even know what you call them, the little spike things back on there. A few days I might be getting some more attachments, so we'll see what happens from there if I have any parts to make this complete. We got an 8-inch bottom plow, middle buster. I've been wanting one of these, so that's pretty cool to actually get one. And a 3-point disc. I have like 4 or 5 of these 8-inch plows. I've been wanting a middle buster, and I do have a rear disc already, but it's for something else, and I just modified it to fit a Sears. So now I actually have a real one, so that's pretty cool. And then that's the seat that was on it. It blew off on the way here from the guy's house. So that was interesting. It has a meal drive on it. No more that came with it, which is fine. And then a spare one. So I don't know why there's 2, but hey, okay. I can, like that one there, it's missing a pulley and everything, so I'll probably cut these two pieces here off, and then I can use this to make something else, you know, to fit in the front for attachments or whatever. So I have probably 40 of these meal drives for like 10 decks. Alright, so I got that rear tire taken off, and I welded that little pinhole I was explaining, and it just melted and kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then here we are with this big blob on here now. I squirted it down with some soapy water, just kind of went like that. You know, kind of layered it on kind of thick just to see if it was going to have any bubbles coming out of it or not, and that seems like it's okay. So I'm going to get that tire put back on, and then get the booster out and just hook it up to the electrical the way it is and see what happens. Key switch is broke. That's not doing nothing. Didn't even have the battery turned on. Alright, so I hooked up the booster, see what happens. Well, it turns over, but we're not going to get any spark because you have to have 12 volts hooked up to the ignition coil in order for that to work. Which, this wire is kind of going everywhere here. I think that's this wire, so it couldn't have ran anyway. Because that's the wire going to the ignition coil. So I'm gonna hook that to my second booster, and then we can see if it has spark. Now if this will stay, maybe I can just hold it like that. That should be okay. I'll just hang on to it. Nothing. I'm not too surprised, actually. Alright, so the points cover is down here. So the points cover is down here. I'm going to get my screwdriver, and I'm going to get down in here and take my screwdriver and take this points cover off and see what the inside of that looks like. Well, that's the problem. Yeah, that's pretty gross under there. There's no way that was going to work. Especially where the contact points are. Nasty. So I'm gonna... Well, this is an interesting camera angle, but I got just a little bit of sandpaper here. And I'm gonna just open it up a little bit and shove that in there. And just kind of go back and forth. Maybe it doesn't need to be so thick. Now this is a lot harder because my camera's in the way. Let's see if it has spark now. Very little, but I do have a lot of lights on in here for the camera, so I'm going to just put that spark plug in and hit the carburetor with some starting fluid and see what happens. Alright, let's see what will happen here. Is that full throttle? Well, that sounded good. Well, it sounded good, and then it don't run no more. I think the carburetor's stuck all the way close. Let's try that again. Try this again. Alright, so I don't think I'm actually going to get it, fully working in this video. I think I'm going to just get it to this point and then do the rest in a separate video. But the bottom of this carburetor is pretty crusty, so I've got to pull that off and soak it. This fuel pump, no doubt, is probably no good, so I'll have to use probably an external one. That's not that big of a deal. I've done it before. And then Fuel filter, that looks pretty dry, so I don't think it was trying to pull any gas from that fuel tank, which I've never looked in here. And that cap doesn't want to come off. So let's find out together what kind of gas is in this tank, or what we're kind of dealing with here. Which this is always kind of fun because you never know what you're going to get. That's if, you know, the gas cap even comes off in the first place. I've broke a whole bunch of these tanks just by trying to get the gas cap off. Oh, that's nice. Full of rust. I don't know how well you guys can see that down there, but yeah, that's full of rust, and it's got quite the smell to it. And look at how bad this look at how bad this is. So that has to be cleaned. So there's definitely a bunch of stuff I got to do to this before it's actually going to run. So I thought I'd stick on the end of this video a little update on this tractor. This is about a week later. I gave up on getting that own end to run. It would run, but I couldn't get the starter to work. So I just said the heck with it after spending hours and hours trying to get it to actually run with the wiring that was in it. So I put in this Lifen 390 or 13 horsepower engine. Seems to work pretty good. It is electric start, but there's no battery hooked up. Put the key switch on the dash, so that's, you know, how it kind of should be. I took the seat off that purple one, which I have that taken apart to restore. So I took that seat and put that on here. I took a junk gas tank that I had. The inside was all rusted out. As you can see, there's still water in it. Torched the top of it off, so now it's a little toolbox. And then I put my tote box on the back. These are the wheel weights off that purple one. I fixed the 3-point lift handle. By way, when I say fix it, I mean I chopped it off down there and then welded on this replacement one I bent up and made. The other one was just too far gone to get bent back. The hood, I tried repainting that. I rattle canned it, and then I waited too long for a second coat, and it got all, you know, stupid on me and started peeling up. I scraped it all off. Now I have to wait to redo it, or, you know, wire wheel it all down the bare metal, so I might just leave it like it is for now. All the tires seem to be holding air. Of course, I think that one back tire is the one I welded that rim on. That seems to be doing okay. All the side covers and everything are on. This is actually a bracket off of a Tecumseh style tractor, which is the only ones that will fit these like Honda clone engines. You can't use the own-end brackets. That's the only thing. Fixed the nose cone by just this simple patch. Because where it broke on the inside, I could fiberglass it and whatever, but I would do that if I was restoring it. So, got all the metal panels in the front of the hood. Those are all rusted out or missing. So this will be just another decent one for the collection. So that'll be it on this one. And thanks for watching, and more coming soon. And this one is also going to get restored, this 74 ST12.